Welcome back to another episode of Cobblecraft, and we have found ourselves in our beautiful town of OXLIN, which we had made the sign not last stream, but we did make a lot of the path, and the path that we're going to do until we get this whole section done in the stream. And there was also a mayoral election, which I memorized almost like an excerpt, I don't know how to say that word, of Martin Luther King's I Had a Dream speech, and I still lost. So this is kind of opposition work. So we will have to do something about that. Maybe something that I can't say because Gail's behind me. But I do, just to start off the video right off the bat, want to get the layout for these buildings done with actual wood and separate them and make them the size that I want them. Alright, so we only did these two buildings because these are the only two I'm going to prioritize right now. And we're going based off of this picture right here. And I want to start off by building the jail. And I have a lot of assorted rocks right here. And as you can see, the jail is very rocky. I don't know how to explain other than that. So let's just replace all this wood with the rocks real quick. I know like a solid 97% of you are really confused of what's happening right now because not only have we not replaced anything with rocks, I don't know if it like picks up on the mic. My voice is a little bit softer. Also, I put shaders now and the game is updated. But I got caught up with Bandcamp for a straight week, 10 hours a week. And yesterday, October 4th, we had our first band comp and we actually won with a clean sweep. So let's go. But I know I said I was gonna do this, but now that the copper golem is out, and I really want to start messing with all this stuff because I know that this is now a thing, copper nuggets, and I have lanterns, and I don't know if I need to like recraft them or I can just like craft them from the lanterns I already have. I need to find my coal though, because I know I have a lot of coal somewhere. Yeah, coal blocks. Okay. Where is it? Now, this is all the stuff I can craft. Actually, let's get out all my copper and make an armor stand, and let's get all the new copper armor. One. So we officially have all the copper armor and all this, but I also went ahead and crafted some, that was weird, some copper torches, and I'm really wanting to make some of these copper lanterns. I figured out how to make it. I kind of just googled the recipe. These are so cool. Hold on. I'm gonna leave these. I'm gonna try to get one stage for every single lantern. So I want to get a stack for every single one, which is gonna be annoying, but I would love to use them throughout my build. So I'm gonna let these oxidize while I spawn our first ever copper golem into this world. Now we need one copper block, which I have some in here. And we're actually going to do something. You might want to close your eyes, but I want to spawn the first copper golem in this world after I grab my shears. Boom. Now is when you might want to close your eyes. Alright. So we might have to do it a few more times. So just you might want to close your eyes for this whole little section. Alright, so it actually only took one more kill. But now we have the one item that I wanted from the copper golem. The copper golem head, which is kind of messed up. But now that we have that, we can actually test the copper golem. I saw this video from, I don't remember his name. He's a YouTuber. I'll put his video up on screen. But he had a really, really great idea. And I'm going to incorporate that today so I can actually get an absolute goated storage system. But since there's a new update, we're gonna have to do the poor person time lapse and just speed up the footage instead of getting any spectator shots. So very, very sorry about that, and I hope that the flashback will update soon, but if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. But let's get building this very first jail. Now, I was gonna build a jail, but I built the jail, and I'll show a picture of it later, maybe at the end of the video, but it looked awful. So I decided not to go by the reference picture and look at the best app in the world, Pinterest, which I will say this later because this is editing a mirror. But I decided to actually build a shop, which I wanted to use a combination of dark oak and spruce and stuff like that, that really like bring out Western vibes. And I also wanted to try to use some of the new copper blocks that have been introduced in 1.20, 1.9. And I think I used them pretty well, but let's see the final build. I'm glad that in this build, I got to incorporate a lot of the new copper stuff, like copper, what are they called? Copper lanterns and the shelves. But in between clips, I have been doing some massive copper grinding. And I already had all the copper, but I needed my copper statues because when I freaking love these things. These are the coolest things to ever come to Minecraft, and I will be using them in a lot of builds. But for the next building, I really want to use the copper golems to make a brand new storage system. And instead of building a building then doing the storage system in, I want to build the storage system, then build the building around it, because the storage system, I actually don't know how big it is, but it is from this guy, which I still don't remember their name. Also, the picture that I said I was going to use, I'm pretty sure I already said this, but I'm going to ditch it and just try to use my own designs. But I'm also going to use the best app to ever exist. I'm going to use Pinterest as some help. I know that's like an old lady, old mom app, but I think it's a pretty good app. Also, we have had a lot of new people. So for all the new players, I can't go on to list all of them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy Cobblecraft. But I've been yapping and doing no work for way too long, so we should actually start building the new storage system. And it might take this whole area, it might not, but I know I need a gap block right here. And I don't want to start the chest right here because I want to have a little bit of decor in that building, which reminds me, I do need to at some point build the interior to the shop, which I actually don't know how I'm going to do that. But this is wow. I don't know why I'm starting so much recently, but this area is very easy to do. I know that's how you do it, and I know I need a stair, but we're gonna do a magical whoosh and the system will be built. Shablamo. So I just finished the storage system, and I also sorted basically everything. And when I mean this sorting system is painfully slow. I've had a stasis chamber here and been AFKing for the past, I think, around 2 hours, and all of this still has to be sorted. They take 16 items at a time, and I need to go places, so I can't just stay AFK here. But turns out that it took a little bit more space than I thought, and we have an 11 block building that's gonna go here. This whole gap is 20 blocks, and I have no idea what I'm gonna put here. And then right here, I also have no idea. But I was thinking, after helping Scott absolutely demolish, destroy this entire area for his mega base, I decided that I want to actually make mine bigger. So I want to start it right here, and then eventually I want it to be I want to take up this much space, which is a lot. But, you know, it's never too much when the server's up for a year. But we are setting our ambitions right now a little bit too high. We should lower them. So I've been thinking about what I want to make this, and Pinterest has let me down. I have no idea. So I was Googling some pictures, and a bank next to the shop would look to be a pretty good idea. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's get started on building this bank. That was really weird. Now, I did have a lot of ideas going into it when I had to build the bank, but none of them came out right, so I had to call the absolute goat Scott to come help me. And we'd settled with doing a design that was extremely similar to the first building, but adding more depth and a lot of shelves. And now that that's all set, let's show you the final build. Woo, doggy. I was struggling on this build, and I don't know why. I had to literally call Scott and Dark to come and help me with this. But we did get it done, and now that it is done and I'm looking at it, it's pretty spectacular. I love the walls. The walls are the best part of the build, in my opinion, by far. Now, I wish it was 1 block taller, and I saw that, and I'm not redoing the whole thing just because I want it 1 block taller. But I was thinking, and I know what I'm going to do for here. I'm just going to put some redstone fans leading out and maybe some other redstone things. But I'm not going to put an interior. But here, on the other hand, we are going to put an interior. But I want to save that for a later date because there's something I have been itching to do. I've been scratching every part of my body to do. I need to add armor stands to this porch area and to the little entrance right here of OXLIN, because I love posing armor stands. They may take forever, but I adore posing armor stands. And the mod we use, which is this one right here, and it's goated by Game Mode 4, makes it so freaking easy. So we're gonna do a little montage of me placing all these armor stands. Alright, so we finished the armor stands, and of course all these heads, except for this one right here, are going to be placeholders, because I do not want Reef to show up that many times. Same with Ico. That doesn't mean I don't love you guys, it's just it's a lot of Reef and Ico. But I think that's where we're going to end the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a spectacular day. Make sure to join my Discord. It'll be on my homepage, and have a spectacular, absolutely amazing day. Peace out.